Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. If you're a Navy Federal member wondering when is the best time to apply for your next credit card or to request a credit limit increase, then this video will definitely help you out because the timing of your application can make or break your approval odds. If you apply too early, you risk a denial that could have easily been avoided, but if you apply strategically, you could walk away with a higher limit, better terms, and even access to the Navy Federal Trifecta of credit cards. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly when to apply and how to prepare before you do, and finally, what the Navy Federal 91-3 rule actually means, because there is a lot of confusion out there. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before we talk about timing, it's important to understand how Navy Federal Credit Union actually works. Navy Federal only allows you to have up to 3 personal unsecured credit cards. Once you've hit that limit, you cannot get another personal card, but you can request a credit limit increase, or you can also apply for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card on the business side. I actually have an entire video walking you through the application process, so if you want to check that out, I'm going to link that right here. I also have a video walking you through the process of actually opening a business account with Navy Federal. So if you guys want to watch that, I will also link that here, or I'll put that at the end of this video. Now, unlike traditional banks, Navy Federal is relationship driven. This means your behavior, your loyalty, and your overall account activity carry real weight. They care about how often you use your account, whether you make payments on time, and if you treat them as your main financial institution. And that's where the famous 91-3 rule comes into play. You've probably heard me talk about this before, but here's the short version. You should wait 91 days or 3 full billing cycles after your last credit card approval before applying for another credit card. So in the simplest of terms, you can't apply for more than one Navy Federal credit card on the same day or even within the same 3-month time period, because they only approve 1 new card per member every 90 days. That 91-day gap gives Navy Federal time to observe your payment habits, your spending patterns, and your overall credit behavior. They want to see that you're managing your new credit line responsibly before extending you any more. For example, if you were approved for your first Navy Federal card on January 1st, you should not apply for another one until the first week of April. If you apply too soon, your application will almost certainly get denied. Now, this rule isn't something Navy Federal publishes officially. It's based on patterns that members have discovered through real-world experiences. But it does hold true, because those 3 full statement cycles give Navy Federal the data they need to assess your trustworthiness as a borrower. That said, there's really no need to rush that 91-day mark. Your approval odds will depend on your credit profile and that relationship strength. So in that time, that should be your main focus. If you're still developing your credit or you're rebuilding, it's better to wait a little longer. Even if you have great credit, sticking to that 91-3 rule helps maintain consistency, and it keeps your relationship with Navy Federal strong. So again, you can apply for a new card roughly every 3 months, assuming you're managing everything responsibly and your utilization is under control. However, there is a part that confuses a lot of people. Your first credit limit increase on a brand new Navy Federal credit card that you opened, you can do so within 91 days. In other words, wait 91 days or 3 statement cycles to request your first credit limit increase on a brand new Navy Federal card. Your second credit limit increase on that same card, you'll need to wait 6 months, not 3. Now, the reason is very simple. Navy Federal wants to see that you can handle your new limit responsibly for a longer period of time after giving you that very first increase. So think of it like this. That initial or first increase you can request after 3 months on a brand new Navy Federal account. Every credit limit after that, you will have to wait 6 months. That's the rhythm that you need to keep in order for your credit limit to grow steadily. And if you have multiple Navy Federal credit cards, you can stagger your increases across them. So for example, if you got 1 card last August and then another card this January, you could request increases on both around April as long as the timelines line up. But don't forget, you can only do that 91-day limit increase on a brand new card, and that's only in the first 91 days. And again, after that, it will only be every 6 months. Now, the maximum limit per card is usually $50,000, except the flagship rewards card, which can go up to $80,000. Across all cards, your combined limit is capped at $80,000 total on the personal side. So you can't get 3 cards and have each one at $50K. The combined ceiling will be $80,000, and the only card eligible for the full $80,000 limit on one card is the flagship. Now, when you're ready for that limit increase, here is a crucial tip that most people overlook. You want to always request it through the Navy Federal mobile app or the website. You do not want to do this over the phone or in a branch. If you do it online, Navy Federal performs a soft pull, meaning it does not affect your credit score. But if you do it by phone or in person, it could trigger a hard pull, which can cost you a few points. I've confirmed this personally. It's still true today. The app method works, it's fast, and it keeps your score intact, so I recommend just going that route. When you request that increase, make sure your account shows strong activity, like multiple payments in a row for cash flow, steady usage, maybe 5 to 10 transactions per month, low utilization, below 30%, but ideally under 10% if you can, no late payments, and yes, Navy Federal does look at this internally before deciding how much they'll raise your credit limit. If you guys want more information about credit limit increases, I have an entire video dedicated to just that. I highly recommend that you watch that video. I'm going to link it right here. It'll let you know how to take advantage of these exact same factors to make sure that you get the highest limit increase possible. Now let's talk about that Navy Federal trifecta. If you're working towards the best credit lineup possible, there are 3 top cards that I recommend that you aim for. The first one will be the flagship rewards credit card. It's best for travel and high limit potential, of course up to $80,000. Second, the More Rewards American Express card, great for everyday spending and for points. And finally, the Platinum card, which is excellent for low APR and balance transfers. If you want an in-depth review of every Navy Federal credit card, check out my full tier list breakdown. Now these 3 together give you coverage around every major category: low interest, high rewards, and travel benefits. Once you've locked in on all 3, you've basically completed your Navy Federal credit card setup. However, I know everyone is different, so again, refer to that tier list breakdown. You might find that the 3 best cards for you might be something completely different. A common question people ask is, should I apply for a new card or a limit increase first? So here's the strategy that I always go for. You want to get the limit increase first, because when Navy Federal sees that you already have high limits and you've managed them responsibly, it sets you up for even higher approvals on your next credit card. However, keep in mind, the maximum credit limit increase that you can receive is $8,000 per request. And like I said before, I have an entire video that talks about this and shows you how to get the max. With that said, sometimes the best thing that you can do is wait. If your credit utilization is over 30%, if you have any recent late payments, or if you're carrying balances across multiple cards, then I would just stop for right now. You don't want to apply for anything new yet. You want to focus on lowering utilization first, getting your balances below 10% if possible, and then go for that new card or that increase. Navy Federal pays close attention to how much credit you've already used, and applying when you're maxed out can easily result in a denial. Patience always beats desperation in the credit game. You should remember that. And before you apply for anything, always use the Navy Federal pre-qualification tool. It is a soft pull, meaning it will not affect your credit score, and it'll show which cards you are likely to be approved for. Now, be aware pre-qualification doesn't mean guaranteed approval. It just means that you meet the preliminary requirements, but it's still a powerful way to check your odds before risking that hard inquiry. Navy Federal on the personal side will pull your TransUnion credit report, and they normally use your FICO 9 scoring model. If you're new to Navy Federal, maybe you just joined, don't rush to apply for a card immediately. I recommend building that relationship first, and here's what I would do if I started from scratch. I would open up a checking account and a savings account, and I would set up direct deposit. Maybe open a small pledge loan to show some good payment history and use some of their products. Then I would wait 3 months, and then after that, you've built a relationship. Your internal score should have risen, and then I would apply for a credit card, and that's how you position yourself to get those $20,000 or more approvals that everyone talks about. Credit unions care about loyalty. The the more you show them that they're your primary bank, the more they'll reward you. If you want to watch a video about building your internal score, I'm going to link that video right here. This is how I learned to build my internal score from an employee at Navy Federal. So let's summarize the timing playbook so you don't miss a step. After your first Navy Federal credit card approval, wait 91 days or 3 statement cycles before applying for another credit card. Request your first credit limit increase after 91 days. After that, all future increases will have to be every 6 months. For new credit cards, you can apply every 3 months max, up to 3 personal cards total. Always use the app for a limit increase soft pull and use the pre-qualification tool before applying. Maintain low utilization and active use. If you follow this blueprint consistently, Navy Federal will keep rewarding you higher credit limits and strong approvals. Thank you so much for watching this video. So when should you apply for your next Navy Federal credit card? The short answer is every 91 days, but the real answer depends on how strong your relationship is. If you've built trust, you keep your accounts positive, and you use the Navy Federal ecosystem, they will take care of you. Remember, this isn't a sprint, it's a relationship. You want to play it smart, stay patient, and keep building over time. If this video helped you out, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss another upload. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day.